Hi everyone, today I am going to show you that in 1 month how I learned React and how easily we are going to use React in different our project and what is the specific point which you are going to learn in React. It may not require so much of knowledge, but by the time when you are going to work, it will be easy for you. But here I'm going to show you what specific information you need to start your React project. Just let's get started. Okay, here I have just opened Code Sandbox. It is one of the best platform where you are going to use like VS Code. Everything is configured for React. You only need to just start your coding. Now let's get started. Okay. And I'm going to open, for example, that app, and in index we are going to see the app. Okay, API, I have to call that API, and in that API we are going to call the function, and I will just say that app and return the value, maybe div, and in div h1, and we are going to say hello app, and we are going to export that default and app. It should work now. Okay, but one thing I need here, class name, and it should be container. Yeah, it is working now. We have mixed a little bit some information here, but it is completely working now. Okay, what is that green and white? I have just called it in CSS. In CSS we have like that container. Okay, it is flex column, direction is column because I need that in column, and it is aligned to center, background is green, and color is white, and pending is 10. That is one simple like CSS file. If I'm going to call, for example, paragraph, this is paragraph. Okay, now how you are going to use that one? For example, I need input value. I'm going to say input, and we are going to write in place. Okay, in place placeholder, sorry, and write your name, and we have to wrap that as well, and also one button, and I will say submit. And now see how the CSS working here, and I have applied little bit CSS on button as well. If you are going to check that button, see background is yellow and font is bold, margin top 10 pixel, pending 5 pixel, top bottom and left right it is 20 pixel, and border is none. Simple CSS. If you are working like in HTML CSS, you better know that one. Okay, what else? If I'm going to, for example, need something, want to add something, we are going to use here I'm going to make h2. I will say count, but I need that count. I need a button, for example, 2 button here, button 1, which should add that count, and button 2, which should sub that count. Okay, now when I click that, it should add and it should subtract. What we are going to do, we will call a const, and here we need just count and set count. We are going to set the count, and okay, we need that one to be in between function, therefore we have to call that here and use stat, and the value, the first value should be 0. Now I make it dynamic. How we are going to just bring that as a count, and you will see that 0. And also we are going to make a function for the button on click, and on click what we are going to do, for example, if I press the add button, it will add the value. If I click on sub button, it will subtract the value. How you are going to do that one? We are going to take that set count. Okay, let me just spell that correctly, and we are going to just call that set count, and we are going to count and add into count. Now that should be a function, okay. And now when I'm going to click on add, you can see that it is adding. Subtract we don't have because we don't assign a value. Now what I'm going to do, on click, see how easily we are going to make everything simple. And I'm also going to call a function and set count, and I'm going to subtract the count by 1, for example count and 1, okay. Now when I'm going to click on subtract, you will see it will subtract and add. You can also make that one here as well. For example, for instead of count, I will also count the button, and here as well space, and you can see that 6 is also here, and it is adding and subtracting at the same time. Now easily you can just customize and make your code to work very nice. Now how easily we have done that one. Now if I delete, for example, that count and also the button, and let me just show you one more thing, how you are going to control, for example, that input value, and use different like state. We have used state, that is a hook in React. You are going to use, I don't go deep into React, just I'm going to show that how I have learned different thing in 1 month approximately. Maybe it could be less than 1 week, but how we are going to use that one. Now let me just show you, okay. For example, I need a const, and here I need atom, and set of atoms, I need atoms, or in set of atoms, atoms, and we are going to use state, and instead of the string, now I am going to use the list, okay. And just empty list for now. If you need, you can also name it, for example, Jamshed Khan Raza, okay. And now see the beauty of that React. For example, if I click, I need that item should be displayed somewhere, okay. How I'm going to do that? For example, I need a paragraph here. For paragraph, I'm going to call that state, and for that I have a beautiful function for that, or built-in function, which is like map, but atoms dot map. We are going to call that, and in that function we have like, I'm going to call each atom and its index. Index is used for like the first atom, the second atom, the third atom, which atom you are going to use, and I'm using that function. And here, for example, I need a listing li, and in li I will call the atom, okay, all the atoms individually. Now you can see that Jamshed Khan Reza has displayed here, and that is how easily you are going to do that one. For example, I have applied some CSS style here for list here, and if, for example, if you want that should be around it maybe, or if you are going to change something like okay, font, for example, I need font weight should be bold, and see all together it will change everything. And just delete that one, no problem. If I'm going to delete that one, you can also call the list of movies where you have the pictures, description, the reviews, the comments, everything. You can call that in one place. Now what I'm going to do, for example, what we are going to do, when I'm going to click add some atoms, for example here, and it should be like Changezi, okay. When I click that one, it should add into that list. How we are going to do, for example, I will come here and I will say that const and value maybe, or control, or I will say that input and set input, and use state. See how we are using the hook state or use state. Okay, it should be empty. And now we need here in input, we need one onChange function, and here I need an event. The event should be like e.target.value. We are going to we need that value, therefore we are going to use that value and just insert it into the list of the atoms here. Okay, therefore we are going to store that value here, and we need that one onChange. Now what I need, for example, I have created that set input, then you have to just store that in set input, and whenever you, for example, need that value, you have to call that one. And for that I need a function on button as well, on click, for example, handle button or submit, whatever you are going to name it. It is not a matter. Const, we are going to call that handle, and we are going to make an arrow function here. And after that, what I'm going to call, I need to just take that value on the change. I need that one and add that to that list. Okay, now therefore I need to update the list here. What I need to set the atom. Set atom is used for updating the value. Okay, set atoms, and what I need to add in that atoms in the list, first the previous atoms, for example that atom, therefore I call that atoms, and for that you have dot 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 and atoms. It means that it is not in fact a matter that you have three values, you should use three dots. If you don't have any values there, then even that portion where you don't have any value, you need to just add three dots. I'm going to show you that quickly, but let me just add that function. And what we need, the value of the input, and we call that input here. Add the atom should be in the list, it should be display, and after that the value which you are going to use in that input value, you have to bring that one. Now let me just quickly do that and check that if it is working. For example, Changezi, okay, and submit. See, everything is working completely fine. If I want something else, for example, now what we are going to write, for example, John. Okay, here we are going to write John, and that is how simply you are going to just add different things. Okay, but I don't have like any values here. I was talking about the dot 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 atoms here, but we don't have any values now here. What I'm going to do, I will write here le. Okay, now James. Okay, empty. It is also showing empty. What about we are going to remove everything, because in every empty string is also going to display here in that list. I have removed that one. Now what I'm going to write, Jamshed and Raza. You can just notice that when I'm going to write something here, it may not be removed after submitting the value. You can also control that one. Okay, how you are going to control that one? You have to just say something. What you are going to say, you have to bring the value here, and let me just see the input, and the value should be, what should be the value? I don't know about the value. It should be like a value or input. Okay, maybe when we are going to submit, set input, or yeah, set input should be empty. Okay, what we are going to do, we are going to set the value, and how you are going to bring that value, it is like input here. Now the input, because I'm just removing everything after adding that, then the value should be, because it is empty right now, the value should be from here. Now let me check if it is working or not. I don't know if it is working. Yeah, see, it is working. Now it has just removed. What logic I have applied here, it is little bit simple. You have to understand. Now the value I took from that portion, and you can see that the value is input. In here, I'm resetting the value, which should be empty. Like there should be no any string or anything. For example, I'm going to write, you can see that when I click, it will just add the items in the list, and then it will display the value and also remove the value from the input. Okay, now see, that is how I have worked in there. That is simply how I have worked. I also work on different other project as well. Maybe I'm going to just display that one as well. And if you like and interested to learn like Python, etc., for the free, you will come in my public profile, Jamshed Raza. You can search in Udemy, and you have Python programming lecture quickly new. Maybe for a few time I will let that to be free. If you are interested, you can get that as well. And if you need to just come, for example, in youtube.com/c/professional tutorial, okay, professional tutorial, then you will also see here the playlist, and in playlist we have different playlist for building website. Maybe if you are going to see the video, recently I have added also different like videos about the React, because I'm learning, also giving the knowledge to other people for free as well. Now here is also a quick Python guide for beginners 2025. You can also learn that in 1.5 hours, and you will be not disappointed from that part of the programming. If you're not subscribed, just don't forget to subscribe. Thank you everyone. Goodbye.